Alright, YouTube, so like I said in a previous video, I play bass guitar, and I thought what better to do than to play bass and tell a life story, because this actually needs to be supplemented um, by bass. So basically, my junior year of high school, I and about 8 other classmates that were in the music program, we came together and did a cover of Beginnings by Chicago. This is actually the same bass I used. Some Yamaha something. It's Mango Top wood, and Beginnings by Chicago. Same strings too. They're just getting to the point where I'm gonna need to restring it, and it's been about 3 years. But I don't play this one all too often. This one, ironically too, this one's my favorite. Um, but yeah, so this guy named Bobby, he was really into Chicago. I don't know if I've really revealed this before, and I wanted to talk about my experience in this in another life story. I was in the music program at my high school. I had a horrible last year, so I quit my junior year. So this would have been my last year, and Bobby was a friend of mine from the music program, and he said, I want to assemble kind of a group of people uh, to play Chicago, Chicago song. And he's like, do you know how to play guitar or something? I said, I play bass. I don't play guitar. I mean, I did play guitar at the time, but my skills at guitar really sucked at that point. And it was either 25 or 5 to 9. I don't remember, but you probably know, if you're a Chicago fan. You probably know the name of that song, and you'll berate me for butchering it. It was either that song or Beginnings, and we decided to go with Beginnings. And honestly, it's a pretty easy song. It's split into pretty much 3 parts and a solo. It just goes like. And then there's the. And then there's an end part that just kind of. This literally takes up at least half the song. It's just. So yeah, it's like an 8-minute song. So just imagine doing that for 4 minutes. I got pretty bored up there. Um, but I want to talk about, we this was before Thanksgiving, and this talent show was really early April, right? So we get up there, and I'm just feeling the energy. I'm just up there, just going, you know, and I'm just getting in the groove, right? And then it gets to my solo, because there's a bass solo, and I think it goes, if I remember, it's like. And then you repeat that, but then the whole band kind of comes in. But I totally fucked it up. I think I went like. And I was like, shit. So that was the bad mark against me, and I was pissed because I was practicing that part forever, but I didn't have good fingering technique at the time. So now if I was playing it now, I would have played it like that. But at the time, I was like, so it sounds like garbage. But yeah, other than that, I was like, oh, it sounded pretty good, and people complimented us, and we ended up coming in third, and we were like, but we spent so much time. We were sore losers, admittedly, And we were like, oh, we spent so much time practicing and all that. And it's like we had so many people come together to do this. How come we didn't get first, right? And then Bobby's dad posts the video on Facebook. So I'm like, oh, well, maybe we did something wrong. And this is months later. Or weeks later, my bad. Probably like 3 weeks later. He finally puts it up. And I click on it. The horn players were so out of tune that it was just ridiculous. And everybody was just blasting. My old band director in high school, he used to call it playing with your heart and not your brain. And I think it was a super case of that, because I think everything short of the guitar, me minus my my solo mishap, and the drums and the singing, the horn section was pretty much just awful. And I even think one time the trumpet player, he totally fucked up in a part and came in way too early. And it was one of those things, you just got on stage, you're like, yeah, we did awesome. You go back and you look at it, and it's like, oh, fuck, you know? So we got third. I have like a medallion or a medal somewhere from like 2014 that shows third place. I probably should have found that for this video, but you know, more bass videos to come, I guess. And thanks for sticking with me for this life story. Until next time, when I talk about my horrible time during my last year of band. Bam!